Welcome to Fueled by Coffee Podcast. My name is Matt. I am your host. Today is the Season 2 premiere of the podcast. I am here with local Lehigh Valley band, Food Truck, led by, right here on stage left normally, John was just talking about how much he hates stage terminology. Usually on the left side of the stage, we have my friend John, who's coming back for his third episode. He plays bass and sings. Then on the right side of the stage, we have Miles, who plays guitar and does the other half of the vocals. And then in the back, holding it down, slapping the skins, we got Ryan, who plays drums. Boys, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So today we're going to talk about quite a few things. We're going to talk about your band and music, musical influences, maybe some video games, because I know that Miles and Ryan love video games.
We like some video games.
We like some. Do you like all or some?
Just some.
Just some.
Not all.
I like all.
All video games?
Except Madden. Yeah, I don't like sports games.
Yeah, well, the only games I
that's
like.
That's not all video games.
The only games I like.
You're like one of those people who's like, I like all types of music, and then they only like one or two types of music.
Yeah.
I hate country. I hate rap.
So we'll dive into that a little bit later. But as we always do on the podcast, we drink a different type of coffee, or at least we try to every episode. And Miles was so gracious to bless us with some. Is this Starbucks? This is Starbucks.
Yeah, it's Starbucks. I was gonna try to go to like a fancier place, but they were all closed, so Starbucks was my only option. But I still tried to get like the fanciest thing I could.
Yeah, he got like the variety. Mm-hmm. Like we all have something different. So do you want to like walk us through what these are?
Yeah, I forget what the one is, but we'll.
Yeah, mine's a mystery.
I have like a salted caramel cold brew. And then I think, Matt, yours is a like almond chocolate cold brew. Cloud cold brew.
I thought mine was a cloud.
I thought John's was a cloud
I want
too.
A cloud.
And then I think John's is some sort of like cloud macchiato.
I got a venti water.
He's got that high quality.
Yeah,
H2O.
he got some toilet water in the cup.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So funny story. So Ryan drove me today, which was very nice of him. But so I offered to get him a coffee, but he didn't want coffee. So he just got Starbucks water, and he insisted that Starbucks water tastes better than normal water.
Was this at the Giant in Hellertown that you guys went to? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Do they actually have like a water dispenser, you think?
I think it's just the sink, but it tastes really good.
Well, that's all that
So you're
matters.
drinking dirty Hellertown water.
Yeah, but it's in a nice cup.
How's that iron taste?
We all have fancy coffee, and then Ryan has dirty
How's that phosphate
city water.
It's good. It's refreshing.
How are those dirty shit minerals?
So last season, the question I like to ask everyone was like, what's going on in your life? Haha. But this season, we're doing something a little different, and I'm asking everyone, who are your top 3 artists that have been in rotation the last like couple weeks of your life?
Start with Miles and go the other way, because I gotta think about this one.
Yeah, I had to look at my Spotify because
Okay.
I knew Matt was gonna ask us questions. So I had to look. But recently, I guess like my top, or I'll go from first to third. I guess. So my top would probably be Ty Segall. I've been getting like really into him.
Okay.
He's kind of like garage rock mainly, but he ventures into like some acoustic stuff and like some kind of psych rock stuff. So I've been really into that.
Right on.
I think second would probably be I started listening to like a lot of Marvin Gaye. And yeah, that album is great.
Dude, Marvin Gaye is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Marvin Gaye.
That What's Going On album is really great. I've been listening to that a lot.
Yeah, you should listen to the live stuff. It's pretty amazing, like how good his voice is.
Really?
Yeah, he's like
Damn.
just one of those natural singers. Like he doesn't ever sound bad.
Yeah.
He's just always in key, and like he improvises a lot when he does live stuff, so it's cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
that album too is really great because like some of the songs like kind of flow into each other.
Right.
And also he'll bring back like melodies and stuff that he uses like earlier in the album, so I think that's pretty cool.
Nice.
But yeah, so I guess for third, I'm always kind of like listening to The Clash like at some point. Like they always kind of come back into my rotation.
Gotcha.
So they've kind of been coming back into my rotation. So
any album in specific, or just like shuffling?
mainly London Calling and Sandinista, and I like their first album a lot too. But,
Cool.
Yeah, mainly Sandinista and London Calling. Those
Sweet.
are my favorites.
Awesome.
I've been listening to a lot of Tiger's Jaw. They just put out a freaking single like a couple days ago.
Okay.
It's called Warn Me.
Mhm.
It's really good.
Sweet. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's good. I listened to it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, they got signed to Hopeless Records. I saw for their next album.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Moving on up.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite labels. I like a lot of bands on there.
Yeah.
I'm listening to a lot of Russian post-punk.
Okay.
I found this playlist the other day, and it just makes me feel like I'm in like this like stinky, dirty Russian club, you know, in like the 90s, and I'm just like, you know, drinking and stuff and having a good time.
That's amazing.
Speaking Russian.
But yeah, there's this one band called well, there's two of them I've been jamming out. Utro's really good, and then Molchat Doma is really good.
Okay.
They just have this like throwback kind of sound, but it's like new music, you know, coming out of Russia.
Yeah, it sounds
Right.
like New Order, but it's Russian.
Wow. Dope.
It's cool, yeah.
You know, I'm so proud of you guys, like, using your Spotify's. Any other people I've asked this question to, they're like, I gotta think about it. Hold on. And then it kills like 10 minutes of the episode. They're like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I listen to my Spotify every day.
Yeah.
Like on the way to work. And
Yeah.
so I've been listening to Basement.
I love Basement.
Yeah, I was already into them, but like I kind of like got back into them, so I've been listening to a lot of their stuff.
Right on.
I've been listening to their more like early unknown stuff that you don't really hear. They have this really cool song called Slip Away, and I keep listening to that. That's off Beside Myself, which is one of their early albums.
Right.
And then I've been listening to a lot of rap. That's
Okay.
like one of my favorite genres. So I've been listening to Pusha T, who's like, he's
Pusha T-
amazing. Like
Pusha T is nice.
I would say my favorite rappers are probably like Tyler the Creator, Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q, Suicide Boys, and then Pusha T, like top 5. Like
Nice.
Pusha T's unbelievable. And then I listen, let's see. I've been listening to Juice WRLD, but I won't count that because there's only like 2 songs that I've been really listening to.
See, I was never like a huge Juice WRLD fan until one of his tracks just popped up on my SoundCloud randomly. And I was like, this is pretty tight. There's a song Empty.
Yeah.
Super catchy, like, you know, really well written.
Yeah, the
I think.
album grew on me. I don't think I loved it initially.
Yeah.
There were like a couple songs on it I liked, but then with time I started to really like it and appreciate it. And then obviously, you know, when he died, like all his stuff seems cryptic. Like it's weird.
Right.
It's almost like Lil Peep, where he died, and then you listen to some of his songs, and like yeah, it comes with the genre, it comes with the territory, that kind of like negative, almost like suicidal talk about like I'm not gonna make it, I'm gonna die young, I'm gonna, you know, do drugs till I die.
Well, all great artists. I think it's a cool mix of things, you know, for people to potentially look up and get into. But super happy to have you guys here. This is an episode that was kind of like months in the making, and then like COVID happened, and then that kind of ruined our plans. But we're here today. So I guess let's just start off. Let's start off small. How did Food Truck meet, and how long have you guys been a band?
Ooh, let me start this one.
Okay.
I feel like Miles always starts this one. This is my opportunity to get the goddamn truth out. This is all fake news. Don't believe anything Miles says.
Yeah.
He's a Russian. He's an informant.
Oh, God.
He's a goddamn informant.
That's why
Yeah.
he's sitting here looking like a tourist. He's like, I had to look as American as possible.
So me and Miles used to work at this country club called
Silver Creek.
yeah, I almost said Saucon Valley. We went to Saucon Valley High School, and we worked at a country club called Silver Creek, which was also in Hellertown. But there's also another country club called Saucon. That's
And you talked about the country club on one of the special episodes we did where we talked about work. Yeah.
So that's where we met. And we kind of just started talking about music, and he's like, oh, I play guitar. And I was like, oh, I play a little bit of everything, but I mainly play drums at the time. And so then I think I was 18, and he's probably like 16.
16, yeah.
Yeah. And so then he came over to my house one day, and we jammed, and we like just really hit it off. And we had this other kid jamming with us, but then one day he couldn't make it. So I was like, oh, whatever. Like, you know, we'll both just play guitar and just kind of acoustic jam or something.
Yeah.
And then we just really like... We just had instant chemistry, and then I was like, oh well, fuck that kid, like let's just, you and me, like let's just start a band. And so we both had the same kind of like image, like the same drive,
Right.
you know. So then we kept going with that, and we had a couple other people that we tried out over the course of like a year or two,
Right.
and we got more serious, and we never had like a name. We were like jumping from name to name, and so we had like a ton of different ideas. One of the main names that stuck was Motel Decaf, and that's when we had a kid named Kyle that would drum for us. And
He's
we
in, shout out to Latchkey Kids. He's in this band called Latchkey Kids. They're really good.
Yeah, they're really good, and he's great at drumming. So, but he lives pretty far away. He lives in Jersey, like almost like, what is that, like an hour?
Yeah, it's like he lives in like Mount Arlington area,
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey, and it's like probably like an hour. It might even be like an hour and a half. Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty far.
Okay.
So it's a distance, but yeah. So realistically, just it wasn't gonna work.
Yeah.
And like we were more so just really good friends, so like it was like okay, like the distance doesn't work here.
Yeah.
And I do think we have a little bit of a different taste too.
Yeah,
I don't think that was a problem. Just the main.
We're
thing
gonna
was
get
distance.
into that then. That's one of the next few questions. But like, how did you guys come across Ryan then?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm getting to. So then we basically the Kyle thing didn't work out. Just he was still in high school too, so it was
Yeah.
you could only get him on the weekends and stuff. So then we sent Ryan a DM on Instagram, just like kind of like asking him, like inquiring about like, hey, maybe we should jam. And like he was really goofy, like funny, like just you don't meet people like him.
He was goofy. He was
You
a silly
don't
boy.
meet people like him. Yeah, you message people and they're like, oh, what music you like, and they're like very serious, and he was just like a goofball.
Yeah.
But he was serious at the same time.
Mhm.
And so like I liked that. I was like playful, And so we arranged a date and we went to his house and we met him, and I'll never forget. I literally thought like you were like so much taller, and I thought you were, and I thought you were like way fatter because let me explain.
Just throwing him
this
under
is
the
this is
bus.
like 3 years ago, guys. Calm down. And because your voice, because I had talked to him on the phone, like like a phone call, and I heard his voice.
He had phone sex.
Yeah, we had phone sex, and I saw his pictures on Instagram. So he doesn't have any pictures where he stands next to people, I guess. And so I when I first met him, I was like,
think I
whoa.
do.
Yeah, maybe you do, but
You're like, whoa, he's a midget.
no. I just thought you'd be way fatter and way
he's a little
taller.
person.
Right.
And he was just like smaller than I imagined. And I remember
Okay.
just looking down upon him thinking, I could strangle this guy and take
Oh my god.
I could end this right now and steal his drum set.
Wow.
He is a nice drum set.
Yeah. What do you play, Ryan?
It's an Orange County, Venice
Very nice.
drum kit.
Oh, you know what? I think I saw you blow out the kick drum head on that
Yeah.
show. I was there for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tabertine.
No, I think that was.
No, that was my other band, Grammatically Incorrect, I think.
Oh.
Was that? I think that was one of the times like Above the Mendoza couldn't
Yeah.
all play together, and like Pete was hopping between drums and singing, and like you hopped on a couple songs on drums or something.
Yeah, I think I Came Out Swinging with Above Mendoza, and I blew out the bass head.
Yeah, that was an interesting show.
It happens.
But yeah, I've been in and out of a bunch of different bands. I think like 13 or something like that.
Jeez.
And nobody really stuck with nobody really stuck like I did with these guys. I just think we're all in the same like mindset and headspace,
Right.
and we're on this mission together.
Yeah, that's important. That you're functioning as a team as opposed to just like, I feel like that's when issues start arising, when there's like kind of individuals with a music project, and that's when I guess egos start to
Yeah,
run
I think
little
there's
wild.
a time and a place. Like there's definitely
Yeah.
a time and a place for egos and being an individual. So like we have different music tastes, obviously, but that's healthy. That's good.
Yeah.
But then there's definitely times where it's like we got to be like on the same page.
Right. And I guess that's a good segue into the next thing I wanted to ask you guys. Like, being that you guys have kind of different influences, to my understanding, like, what would you say, like, each one of your influences was? And then, like, what was there, like, a common ground that you kind of settled on? Like, is there, like, a common kind of sound? And, like, how would you describe your sound, I guess, too?
Can I start with this one? or-
Yeah, go for
I
it.
was gonna say I talked a lot, so
Yeah. Well, we all kind of like when we first started, we all liked and still like totally different stuff. But
Right.
there's like some stuff we agree on, and that's kind of what you're asking, like what we agree on.
Yeah.
And I think like a lot of originally we agreed on like Weezer and like Nirvana and a lot of like
Okay.
90s kind of like alternative rock.
Right.
That was like our main influence at first that we could all get behind and agree on, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But we all like different stuff. Like I was more, when we first started, I was really into like kind of punk stuff, and they were really into like, I guess it's kind of similar, but they were really into like pop punk stuff.
Yeah.
But I think we all kind of had a different idea of what we wanted to do exactly. But when we came together, I think that 90s sound really resonated with all of us. So
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I guess the other thing I wanted to ask too, like, I know you guys are you're like working your way up in the local scene. You seem to be gaining a pretty good following. You guys recently put out an EP. What was it, last year? Dog.
Last summer, yeah.
Would you guys say, like, and I know you just put out a single a couple months ago, the Motel Decaf single. Would you guys say you had like a big song that you like if you had to describe like the food truck song, like what would it be?
You guys want to say it? 3, 2, 1.
Saturday. So that was Saturday. You just heard it. So I knew that was probably going to be the answer, because I think John was telling me you guys played a show. It was like your EP release show or something. And didn't you say it was the first time people like sang along to your songs?
Yeah, that was really cool. That was like, there was that, and then there was a thing before that. We played a Lehigh show, and I always recount this as like my favorite like show. But yeah, there was a show where people sang the chorus to Saturday, which is pretty simple. It's just like, you know, think I let it get the best of me, learning to live with the rest of me. Like, it's just those two lines repeated, but it's a simple melody, and so people like that song, and I guess it's one of the more recognizable songs from us, you know?
Right.
And so, yeah, people saying that, I remember that, like, gave me goosebumps. That was really cool. Like, to like create something that people like enough that they can like feed it back to you almost, like to see that reaction. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was a first. Even with all the other bands that I've been in, I don't think I've ever noticed somebody like singing like my lyrics, or
That's
our lyrics.
really cool.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
see
like a
covers.
moment.
You see covers.
Yeah, sure. It was definitely like a moment where I was like, wow, like this is cool. Like
It was a milestone. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I think another cool thing that happened. A lot of people like our song "Monkey." And it was kind of like, for us, it was kind of a weird song to put on our EP because like it's kind of like it's kind of like satirical.
Yeah.
So it was weird to put it on there, being a satirical song, because we like to write like kind of more, not necessarily serious songs, but we like to be passionate about what we're writing,
Right. Yeah.
And but the cool thing with that song is we didn't expect like so many people to like it, and now like almost every show people expect us to play at the end. So it's like this cool thing at the end of the show where like everyone's like, oh, monkey, monkey, and it's like it's cool to see, like it's like the thing with that John was saying, how like when people started singing along, like it almost gave us like kind of like goosebumps, and it was really like rewarding and cool. And I think the monkey thing was also kind of the same way. So
do you guys ever like get sick of having to play the monkey song at the end of every show? Does it ever get kind of like, all right, like,
yeah,
oh my god, yeah. But I think every band can relate to that.
Yeah.
Like you always see things about like Nirvana or Guns N' Roses or any band that has like a mega hit. Like Sweet Child O' Mine, Axl Rose and Slash and all of them, they like hated playing that. And then likewise Nirvana hated playing Teen Spirit because it was just like if they played for MTV or some kind of big like TV show or something, like that's like the producers were like, hey, you're gonna play that song, right? Like
whenever we go on MTV, they just ask us to play.
I
Monkey.
know. I'm just like, hey, but I'm just saying.
Real annoying.
I feel like it's a common problem that every band probably faces, unless you have like 3 songs. Then it's like, okay, well you don't have any other songs, so it's like. But yeah, once you have like a good array of songs, people are gonna want to hear like 1 or 2, at every show.
Yeah,
and it's like it is what it is. But yeah, the Monkey song is definitely it's a tiring song because it's like a lot of yelling and it's very fast, and then it's not necessarily like in our style range, so it's kind of like he said, it's like a satirical song, so sometimes playing it's just like you're not quite in the mood, whereas if you're playing stuff like Saturday, I don't think I ever get sick of playing Saturday because that's purely a food truck song. Like,
do you normally open with that? Is that normally
we've used it in every way. We've opened with it. We've used it in the middle. If we haven't opened it, we use it as a second song. But like we've used it in every way.
Gotcha.
Like every spot, I feel like.
Yeah. Now when you guys were recording Dog, was Monkey Song, was that like initially planned to be recorded, or was it just kind of like you were in the studio and you were like, oh, let's just...
No, I think it was planned.
It was planned.
I think it was planned to be recorded. Yeah, I think we went in. We like to go in knowing like almost exactly what we want to do.
Right.
And then like within recording the songs, there comes like freedoms of like getting to choose, random things that come into play. Like our producer will be like, oh, you want to add this like this sound, this percussion sound, or this synth sound, or whatever,
or this fart sound.
But yeah, we usually try to like plan what songs we're gonna go in with.
How was that? I know John has had nothing but good things to say about Matt Mulchaney.
I take it all back. He's a devil.
He's a real jerk.
Yeah.
No, but like how did you guys feel about working with him the couple times you have? Like,
yeah, let Ryan start this one.
Yeah, I freaking love Matt.
Yeah, because Ryan's an audio guy like me. I mean, we're all kind of audio guys, but like Ryan's like an audio nerd like I am.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. It's just fun, Like I'd probably pay just to hang out with him. Like he makes the work fun, Because recording is definitely hard work, but he makes it really fun. Like he's super easygoing. He's very helpful. He's he's always there when you have to like make a decision. He helps you to, decide through the dilemmas.
Right.
And he's a really great guy to work with. I couldn't recommend him enough, man. He's great.
Sweet.
Yeah, he's really cool. Like Ryan was saying, it's almost just like we get to just hang out with him and like, we'll record for a while and then we'll like go get pizza and then like come back and like we have this kind of like system with him because we've recorded with him like twice now. We did the EP and then we did the 2 singles.
Right.
And we want to go back and record with him again. We just love working with him so much. Yeah, and on top of getting to hang out with him and whatever, I think he makes our music sound really great and brings it to the next level. And
Definitely.
I want to, like, every time we work with him, like, I can see, like, more and more potential from him.
Right.
Like, he just, like, I don't know, like, more things kind of, like, I guess unlock, like, in my head. I'm like, oh, we can, like, do this now, or we can do this. And I feel like he just gives us a lot of opportunity to work with. So
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember when I first heard the Motel Decaf single, just that song in specific. John showed it to me when it was like not even mixed yet, and I was like, dude, that sounds phenomenal. Like just as it is, like the drums sounded really good, like with pretty much nothing on them.
Yeah, thanks.
So,
man.
like,
that was a cool thing coming out of sessions because we would just live track everything.
Yeah.
Because normally what we do is we live track everything and then we go back and do overdubs.
Yeah.
But it was really cool when we recorded with him because we'd go in and record the first day, and then right when we left, he'd send us like the files of like when we just played the live track, so we could already kind of tell what the song's going to start to sound like. So that was really cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, he's on top of everything. That's like another like I
really important.
Would agree with everything they said. I've said it 100 times how great he is, but that's another like thing. It's like he's just on top of everything. He's very laid back, but he just grinds.
Yeah.
Like he'll have when he says he's gonna get something to you by like a certain time, like he does it. Like he never forgets anything. He's just great, laid back, but also really like, you know, persistent and like hardworking. So yeah, we're gonna just keep going back to him, and hopefully, like, you know, if we ever get signed or we move somewhere like Philly or New York City, then like we might start moving on to some other stuff. But like if we're in the Lehigh Valley, we're absolutely going to him.
That's awesome.
Like he's our number one. His prices are great.
Is that like his full-time job? Like that's what he does?
Yes. Yeah, he makes shirts and like other things on the side for Shard Studio, but yeah, his main thing is just that, and he's like, his work speaks for him. He's so good at it that he has enough clients and he has enough work to pay for his bills and stuff.
That's really good, and that's really important that he's so adamant about like getting his work done. Like you said, he's grinding, because like I know there are some probably producers or engineers that, you know, they'd slack on things, or like, and it's like, well, what am I paying you for then? You know, like my time's valuable just as much as your time is.
Yeah,
like,
and that's why it's good to have a producer that is just a producer.
Yeah. If
you get the guy who's working his way up, but he has like another job, like, then you're gonna run into stuff like that. But if you have someone like him he's in a band, and he's been in several bands, and he knows how to play guitar, he knows how to sing, he knows drums, he knows what he's doing, and like he's very serious about it. He's been doing a long time recording, and so like he knows the ins and the outs.
Yeah, it's funny, like I was listening to a podcast the other day with Mark Hoppus from Blink-182 and John Feldman from Goldfinger, and then they're talking about, it was like from a few years ago, they were talking about recording, and one of the mix engineers that works at John's studio, they were talking about like how late he's there sometimes, and he'll show up at like 9 a.m. they were saying, and then he'll be there recording and mixing stuff till like 4 a.m. the next day, and then he'll go home and he'll be back at like 9 a.m. the same day.
Yeah,
like,
some people are like that.
It's crazy, but like that, I think that's really important, like with music, to have someone like that. All right, I guess next on the list, we're gonna get into some video games right now.
Ooh.
So I guess, what are you guys currently playing? We'll start with Miles.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's just start, because I think we're all on different wavelengths here.
Well, at band practice, we all like to play Skate 3 together.
Tight.
And that's really fun, you know, after
hopefully
practice.
Skate 4.
Yeah, hopefully Skate 4.
They're making a new one.
Yeah, they're making Skate 4. I'm really excited for that.
Are you going to get Skater XL when it comes out? Have you seen that?
I've seen like a little bit of it. I might get it.
Yeah.
But I am looking, there's a lot of skateboarding games coming out now. Yeah. There's the Tony Hawk game coming out.
Yes.
I'm definitely going to buy that.
Dude,
Is that
too.
September?
Yeah,
September.
Unfortunately.
And then Skate 4 at some point is going to come out. I'm definitely going to buy that. But other than skate games, I've been playing a lot of Smash.
Yes.
I play a lot of Smash. I mainly play the Nintendo Switch. So
yeah,
like,
Nintendo's so good.
Yeah, Smash. I was playing Resident Evil 4 on the Switch.
Okay.
Mario Kart a little bit. Mario Odyssey. That game is
phenomenal.
It's so good.
Like,
amazing game.
I'm really ADD with video games, and that one, like when I picked it up, I could not put it down.
Oh yeah, it's so
like
good.
I beat it in like a couple weeks just because that's how good it is.
Yeah, the soundtrack's great. The visuals are great. Like, it's just a great game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then I heard about the little Smash debacle you guys have had at your practices. You know, Miles likes to use Bowser.
Oh yeah,
and everyone cheats.
I don't cheat.
He's a goddamn cheater.
Yeah, he cheats.
I heard that there's like a big debate as to who the best Smash player is.
Yeah, we had
in
this
Food
huge
Truck.
debate.
Oh, it's probably Bowser. Honestly, in my opinion, I think it's Bowser.
Well, I meant like within the band.
Oh, Miles.
Yeah.
He plays it more. So
Yeah.
he has. I don't play any of that. I don't have a Switch, so like I'm the worst. So
Yeah.
big surprise.
Yeah, but he likes to say he's way better than everyone
He's not.
when it's like very close.
I don't know.
Didn't I
about it.
beat you with Marth?
Yeah, you
Marth
beat him
is
before.
tight.
Yeah, but we were playing like okay. So then we played like all of us together, like all three of us.
Yeah.
And normally I do 1v1 because that's how you play Smash like competitively.
Yeah.
But anyway, so them two would like play against me. Like they would just team up and not hit each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I would like barely win or sometimes not win. They'd be like, "Oh, like
Wouldn't
you're not that much better than us."
Yeah,
And it's like, well, both of you are fighting me at the same time.
Well,
Like,
if you were that good, you wouldn't have a problem
Oh.
fighting two.
No, but
Ah,
we did a
here.
one-on-one, and you won, but you were at like your last life, like 90 or 100.
Yeah.
maybe a game.
Yeah, like it was very close.
Yeah, I just don't think you're that much better. I think
I
Andrew is that much better.
I played Smash with Miles one time, and I'd say we were pretty even. Like,
Yeah, Matt's pretty.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
big game talker, Mike.
yeah, you're big smack
No, I just
talker.
said out of the three of us, I'm the
You
best,
big
and that's
talker.
the truth.
But Miles, just for reference, he has a lot of nicknames.
yeah.
Like Mike is his biggest nickname.
Yeah, can you explain that? I've never understood that one, or I've never heard the
We're
origin
talking
story.
into him, Mike.
Yeah, so he likes to be like the band sound guy. He's always troubleshooting everything.
Right.
Usually the microphones he's troubleshooting, so he's Mike.
Oh.
He's the Mike guy. That's how we got to. We're like Miles. the
I've heard
Mike
two
guy.
stories
Mike-
as to why Ryan calls me Mike. There's that story, and then also, I guess, whenever he used to type Miles into his phone, for some reason.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Well,
true.
no, this is what happened. I remember this. We called him the Mike guy for like a whole day at practice. We were just like, "Oh, hey, Mike, the Mike guy," and we were saying like Mike as in like M-I-C.
Yeah.
But then later on that day, or like somewhere in that time, Ryan texted us in the group chat. And he accidentally typed Mike, and so then it was just like perfect because he typed Mike.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's
like
got
the
a double
name,
meaning.
and so then it has a double meaning, and it was just like so well timed because it was like after that fact of
Yeah.
and so we just kind of stuck with it. So
That's
And
amazing.
then the other day I started calling him Booger Bear.
Yeah, what's up with that one too?
no one calls him Booger Bear but you.
I'm trying to-
It's not a
Ryan
nickname
calls
if
you
you're
Booger
the
I'm trying to
only
start
one.
it.
He's trying to
I'm trying to
seduce
start
him.
it.
That's what he's trying.
Ryan just likes to give me little pet names.
No, but
Yeah, I
he calls
do.
me. He calls everyone Booger Bear. He'll call like random objects Booger Bear.
Yeah, we'll be in public, and Ryan will be like, when we went to Starbucks earlier. Actually, we were like about to leave, and like the girl who like made our drinks was like walking back to her station. And he's like, "Bye, Booger Bear."
I watched a TikTok and this guy was like calling this lady Booger Bear,
Yeah.
and I just thought it was so freaking funny. Not necessarily like the video, but just the word Booger Bear, dude. I just thought it was so funny.
That's amazing.
But yeah, I like giving Miles pet names a lot.
Okay. It's an odd way of putting it.
Sometimes at band practice, sometimes when we're just hanging out.
Oh.
When you guys are cuddling.
Having
Yeah.
Netflix and chill.
After
Is that still a thing? Is that even still a thing? I don't know.
know.
Netflix and chill.
TikTok and
Maybe.
fuck. I don't know.
TikTok.
Can we? Are we allowed to say fuck?
Oh yeah.
it's not going on the radio, is it?
Fuck.
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 We can say fuck on Matt's podcast.
So, Ryan, what are you playing currently? I saw you were playing The Last of Us 2 the one day.
Yeah, that game's catching a lot of heat.
Why?
Spoilers or no spoilers? The reason is because they kill off the main character from the first game,
Okay.
like really early in the game.
Uh-huh.
And there is a transgender character in it. I don't think that's why people are mad though. I think they think it was like kind of this forced like virtue signaling kind of thing. Like they forced this character in,
Uh-huh.
and then they killed the main character off, and then they just feel like the story. They just don't like how the story's going.
Right.
I like it.
Yeah.
I kind of just form my own opinion from playing it. I think it's good. I get what they're trying to do with this story, and I get why people are upset about it too.
Right.
But it's basically like the main like point they're trying to drive home is that like revenge is bad, pretty much,
Okay.
because it's like this like story of like revenge,
Mm-hmm.
And
Is it
how-
better than the first one, you think?
No,
No.
Okay.
it's good. But
Can
like,
you play guitar in it?
yeah, you can.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's not a very intuitive or good system, but
No.
strum chords. But yeah, the gameplay is really good. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm having fun with it, and I think that's all that really matters with the games. Are you having fun?
Exactly. Yeah. Is it like an open world kind of game, or is it like really structured?
Kind of both. It's definitely like it's not open world.
Yeah.
But like the maps or the levels, whatever you want to call them, they're open. You know, they're big open levels, but they're not open world.
Gotcha.
And then I've also been playing a lot of Crash Bandicoot Remastered.
Oh, that's been on my list for so long now.
They're dropping a new one, I think, soon.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wait, another Crash?
Brand new Crash game.
Oh shit.
That was a great game. I remember playing that on the GameCube, I think.
I used to have Wrath of Cortex on the PS2. I don't remember which one in the series that was, but it was really fun.
That might be the second one.
Yeah.
Second one's my favorite.
And I saw you were playing the Outer Worlds as well.
Yeah.
How is that?
So Fallout is like my favorite game in the world, and like a lot of people are comparing it to it. And so I thought, yeah, maybe I'd like the Outer Worlds, but I didn't like it.
Did you beat it?
Yeah, I beat it.
Oh, did it take a long time or?
Not really.
Games like that take me forever. Like I started playing Skyrim a few years ago, and I still haven't beat it.
Well,
that's probably my favorite game in the world, Skyrim.
Wait. Quick break here. This is like when the coronavirus stuff took off and he was unemployed, right?
Not for the Outer Worlds.
Really?
No, that just came out like the end of.
I thought that's when you beat
maybe.
it. Is you just like devoted like a week to it and then you know.
Nah, I was
Really?
playing Animal Crossing during. Like,
Oh
the
hell
whole
yeah, that's my jam.
Corona thing.
Are you done with Animal Crossing? Are you sick of it, kind of?
Yeah. The only thing I have left to really like do is finish like the museum, like the fine art museum. I have all my fossils. I have most of the fish. I have a good amount of bugs. But yeah,
a good amount of bugs.
Yeah. I don't know. My town is like, you know, stocked up. Like I'm really happy with how my town is.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much satisfied, you know.
Nice.
And now I'm back to work, so you know I haven't really been playing it at all.
Gotcha. Cool. Definitely, you know, Animal Crossing is like I usually try and get on like once a day just to do the Nook Miles thing, because I had a streak of like the 7 days in a row.
You slipped up.
I slipped up one day. I was like, wait, when did that happen? So then you got to like start over, and I'm still trying to get, dude, I'm stuck at a 2-star island. And like she's like, plant flowers, and I'm like, I don't want to have a ton of flowers on my island. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, Isabel?
Go in like a back corner and like plant some flowers.
That's true. But yeah, no, Animal Crossing is my jam right now.
But I just put the flowers along like the paths as like a path decoration. I feel like it was nice. I think I have a 4-star island.
Yeah. I just want to get terraforming. And then John's not much of a gamer, but John, what do you enjoy playing on the reg?
So yeah, I've never been like a huge gamer, but I don't know. Yeah, recently, the past 6 months, maybe a year, you and me have played a lot of Madden.
Oh hell yeah!
And so we've bounced around. We played PS3, like Madden 17,
which is awful.
Yeah,
I hate it so much.
There's so many glitches because they were already like they were making Madden 17 for PS4, and so then they made, you know, the final Madden for PS3,
and
they half-assed it. Yeah, they just had some like extra janitors, had the EA Sports just like kind of fill in. They're like, oh, so how's the PS3 thing going? Like, I don't know what we're doing, and they're like, cool.
Antonio Brown was working on it with his CTE.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, I've been playing Madden 08 on GameCube, and that's my favorite game of all time at the moment. Like, I really like that game. I've been playing franchise mode, which is like you draft your players, you basically take over a franchise. So obviously I'm a huge Philly fan, so I took over the Eagles in 2008. So like they still had Donovan McNabb and like all these legendary players, like fucking Dawkins there, and like EAGLES, Eagles. Okay, well anyway, so I'm in the game. I'm like 10 years in the future, but if you go by today's time, I'm actually 2 years in the past. I just reached my 2018 season in franchise mode.
Has Andy Reid had a heart attack yet?
I cut him. I'm actually using who is my coach?
Didn't they see you had Tom Coughlin or something like that?
I had Tom Coughlin as my offensive coordinator, and then I have, I think his name's Petrino. He's like this.
They're all old white men.
Petrino is this really like hated like college coach, but all he does is win. And so I thought it'd be really funny because he was in the NFL for like literally 2 seasons, and then he like backstabbed the team that he was for. He was actually with the Miami Dolphins. He backstabbed them. It's like a really famous move to go play for, like, I forget what school it is. It's like a big school like Alabama. And so, like, people hate this guy. His name's Petrino. I can't think of his actual name, but his last name's Petrino. People fucking hate this guy. And so I was like, I got to get him as my head coach. So I've won, like, 5 Super Bowls with the most hated coach, Petrino. So
Yeah, nice. So mainly Madden. That's like,
Yeah.
and then obviously skate.
Skate, yeah. Skate and Madden, yeah.
I think it's really cool. Like last year, probably like the last 2 years, I had been thinking like I would like to get back into skating because I used to like skate, quote, when I was in middle school. I wasn't very good at it, but like, you know, I wanted to get a new board, and then like I just never did. But then I remember I said something about it to my brother-in-law, and he's like, oh, that's weird, I've been thinking that too. And then John, literally a couple days later, was like, yeah, I ordered a new skateboard. And then I found out Miles is getting into skating, and I'm like, dude, like there's this huge resurgence in skateboarding. And
Yeah,
like,
some
it's
friends at work too getting back into it.
It's so cool because like that was such a big part of like my childhood, I guess, and I feel like it died off for a while. It just wasn't as popular, you know.
Yeah,
and now
yeah.
it's like
I
Tony
wonder
Hawk,
what that
Skate
was, too.
4,
Yeah.
Skater XL, and like everyone I know is trying to skate again, which
There's
is
a
super
big
cool.
resurgence in that, yeah.
Do you think it was like the quarantine that got people going outside? You know,
Maybe.
I think that's part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like, well, we can't really do too much, so people got more into like taking walks and like
Yeah.
like frisbee golf, like biking, and
That's
skateboarding.
The trail in Hellertown, super busy, whole quarantine, and like
Mm-hmm.
I walk that regularly in the summertime, and I've never seen it busier. And it's really sad now that everything's open again and people are back to work. No one's on the trail anymore.
Yeah.
Like couldn't find parking at the Water Street Park,
Mm-hmm.
and like now there's like it's like a ghost town on the trail. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it just shows like people are consumers. Like they'd rather go to restaurants. They'd rather, you know, like buy clothes and like do certain things than like just do the free things like walk and stuff like that. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's boring. And it's
Yeah.
like, I get it. Like I'm not disagreeing with that.
Yeah.
But
Going
shows the
back-
mentality.
speaking of quarantine, we were able to maintain somewhat of a practice
Really?
schedule. Yeah, first we did Zoom practices.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was.
How did that go? How did
Not that
how did
good.
that
The
The
function?
problem is they don't line up. So like if you have an idea and you say, okay, Ryan, I want you to play this. Me, Miles are gonna play this. It like doesn't sync up
There's a
perfectly.
lag,
There's a
yeah.
little bit of a lag, so you can't play along with each other. So that was frustrating because we were just trying to strip everything down and just run some ideas, and we couldn't even do that. So it would just be like, okay, John's gonna show you an idea. Now Miles will show us an idea. Now it's like it just was a little harder to work around.
Very hard.
Has there been any like have there been any new songs in the works over quarantine, I guess?
Yeah, well, like, so for a while, just, we were doing the Zoom thing, and then we started to meet up outside and, like, with acoustic guitars and kind of try to write that way. That kind of worked. We did some live streams and stuff a little bit, too. But then a couple weeks ago, we started just jamming at John's again.
Yeah.
And we really started to, like, write a lot of new stuff. So we have,
Cool.
like, I think right now we have, like, 3 new songs.
Yeah,
Nice.
We've been kind of on a roll, so,
It's awesome.
yeah.
Is there like what are your release plans yet, or do you not like? Are you guys doing an EP? Are you doing a full length? Like, is there any sort of like planned, like tentative plans?
Yeah, I think we're planning to do another EP. Should we say how many songs? Is that...
No, you go for it. We're shooting for 6.
Yeah.
Right now we're trying to go for 6, but that's all speculation. We have
Yeah.
3 songs that are finished,
Gotcha.
you know, but we still have work to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think we're like 99% sure that the EP is going to be the move.
Sweet.
Yeah, because we just feel like we're going to probably write like 10 songs or like, you know, just like a bigger number of songs, but we're really just going to cut down and just select the ones that are like ready
Really
to go.
solid,
Really
yeah.
solid, exactly. And we don't feel there's a need to put out an album. Like we're not signed, you
Yeah.
know, and what like I think albums intimidate people too,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we've had such a good experience with Matt and you know recording Dog, and
Yeah.
we want to do another EP and like just keep rolling off that momentum, and so yeah, I feel like I think 6 songs. That's what we're shooting for. It might end up being 5. Maybe it somehow ends up being 7.
Yeah.
That close to an album. But we're shooting for 6.
Ryan's making a face.
Ryan had a stink face.
Yeah.
Dude, if we're making 7 songs, let's just make a freaking album.
Let's just put an interlude.
Yeah.
Just
Because
call
8
it.
songs, like, pretty much an album.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I'm just saying we're shooting for 6. So as long as we're around there.
We'll stick with 6 for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
But
60. Maybe we'll do 60
60.
songs.
Oh, so you do like a triple album.
Yeah, we'll just do a concept album about like
Dude,
Leonard Skinner's
Bears.
best hits.
this next one's called Booger Bear.
This
You
one's
guys-
called Booger Bear Part 2.
Yeah.
you remember Green Day's Uno, Dos, Tres?
Oh, dude, I hated all of those.
What? What were they thinking?
I don't know.
They were all like 40 years old, and I don't know.
I recently just started listening to on SoundCloud I think it was their last album, Revolution Radio. I'd been
Yeah.
meaning to for a while, and like, for me, growing up, I liked like old Green Day, but then once it got to a certain point, I was like, this is trash. But listening to Revolution Radio, so far from what I've heard, I kind of dig it. Like, for me personally, I think it's okay.
Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really. Well, I have a
The worst
21st century breakdown on my wall,
The
but
worst
that's
Green
more
Day
so a
album.
joke. I think Dookie's their best work, and I don't care who wants to argue with me.
No, I would agree to
Dookie,
that.
hands down, is
I'll
their
argue
best
with you.
work.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Dookie.
Insomniac?
Yeah.
You're an Insomniac fan.
No,
Insomniac's great.
I like the 2 albums before Dookie. I like the one's called like
Kerplunk.
yeah, Kerplunk is I kind of like. I'm not really a huge Green Day fan.
Yeah.
But, I actually have Kerplunk on vinyl. I got
Okay.
that when I was younger, so I really like that album. Well, I did at the time.
It's
I'm not-
good toilet paper now.
Yeah, now
Oh,
it's
man.
good. Yeah, no, it's yeah. Yeah, and I like
ass
the
paper.
first album. It's called I think it's called 1039 Slapped Out Happy Hours.
Yeah,
I
okay.
like that one too.
Yeah.
Dookie's all right. I'm not a huge Green Day fan.
Yeah.
Dookie's all right.
Yeah, Nevermind
It's
is
only like
all
the
right.
most like legendary pop
I mean,
punk
that's
album
just in
like
my
in the
opinion.
world.
I'm just giving my opinion.
Yeah. They're just like one of those bands I'll come around to if I'm like, oh, I'll listen to something.
Yeah,
I
you'll
don't
come
normally
around when I come around.
When I come
listen. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a huge. I just don't like his attitude. I just think
Who Billy Joe
Armstrong
Yeah, he's
is
a
such
huge
an
douche
asshole.
nowadays.
Like
Yeah.
he just rubs me the wrong way. That I don't know what it is.
I like the YouTube clip. I think it's at some sort of iHeartRadio concert.
Oh yeah,
When he's
yeah.
freaking out.
He's like, I have 1 fucking minute left.
I'll show you
How-
what
yeah.
1 minute does.
How entitled, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not Justin fucking Bieber.
Yeah.
And at the time, say whatever you want about Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber was still like a minor, so that was pretty weird.
Yeah, I think
It's like a 17-year-old,
supposed to play
16-year-old,
next, right?
Yeah. But I'm just
Yeah.
like that's just creepy. Like 40-year-old guy complaining about like a 16-year-old and his giant drunk rant. Like it's
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
It's just sad. So I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of him personally.
They're not very punk rock anymore.
No. Well,
No, they're kind of sellouts.
That's what I was leading into. Have you heard? They released a single. They were supposed to go on tour with Weezer and Fall Out Boy. They released a single, and I was like, "This is some lame ass like dance music." Like
Was
it
it-
was.
Father of All, like something like that.
I don't know. It had a really weird music video, and I got about a minute into it, and I was like, "This is fucking hot trash." I mean, they're making more money than I'll ever
This
make,
is hot garbage.
but it was just fucking trash.
That's what I'm saying. I hate when people
Just radio friendly.
People do this all the time, but they're like, they're laughing all the way to the bank. And it's like, yeah, but they don't have a soul or
Yeah.
any like
haven't had
actual
a soul
artistic
since, like-
individuality. Like,
I think, I mean, like, there are some good songs on American Idiot, but I think that Warning was a pretty shitty album, and basically anything
Yeah.
before Warning was pretty good.
I don't even think "Warning's" a good song. Like that's
That's
the
an
main
awful
single
album.
off the
I thought it
song.
was okay.
It's just like such a stupid song.
Except for, like, Macy's Day Parade. I really like that song, but
I like the bass in "Warning." That's it. I think the song's bad.
yeah.
But yeah, Insomniac and Nimrod and Dookie, I really love those albums.
Yeah.
I just think Dookie's the best of both worlds. Like that's when their sound was really polished and they just like struck gold. Like they were like in the right place.
Really
at the right
good
time.
production.
Really good production. And just like that's where their most of their hits lie. And that's what I always say about like Nirvana. Like I like In Utero, which was their last album, and so does a lot of people. But honestly, if I had to say their best album, it's Nevermind. That's of all their hits. The production is so perfect. Like
there's a really good documentary, if you like, you guys being into music stuff and recording. I think it's called Sound City. It's about the studio that recorded like Nevermind and the self-titled Rage Against the Machine album. But it was like they were really big, I think, in like the 60s and 70s. and then when everything went real digital in the 80s, it kind of started dying down because they were still an analog studio. And then in the 90s, when they had this resurgence of like the grunge and the Rage Against the Machine stuff, they went and they made these huge albums at this studio, and it kind of like sparked the
Revamped.
studio. It's a really cool documentary if
Wow.
you guys are into that stuff. Yeah. I think the Foo Fighters, I know John hates the Foo Fighters.
I don't hate the Foo Fighters.
The Foo Fighters.
It's just anytime someone talks about the Foo Fighters and like Dave Grohl, they always have to compare like what he did with the Foo Fighters versus what he did with Nirvana.
And it's two
And it's
totally
just-
different
Yeah,
entities.
it's just super frustrating because I honestly think Nirvana is one of the best bands of all time, and I'm super biased because it's one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
But I just think the impact and their ideas were just so fresh and different, and like
Right.
I just don't see a lot of bands topping that, in my opinion. And Foo Fighters are great, man, but like they're just so dad rock, and I can't get behind it, and like people get so mad at me, but I'm just not really a Foo Fighter fan. I don't dislike Dave Grohl at all. I think he's awesome. I think their drummer Taylor, whatever, that guy was on heroin. He literally almost died, and then they let him back in the band, and he like cleaned up his act. Like they're all great guys.
Yeah.
And then they had Pat Smear, who was like in Nirvana for a lot of their live stuff,
And the Germs.
and he was in the Germs, of course. And so he came back and he performs with the Foo Fighters a lot.
Yeah.
I think all that stuff's awesome, but I just personally, I'm not a huge fan of their music. I'm just like, just it doesn't feel as authentic as Nirvana.
Right.
Like Nirvana feels like it's coming from a real place,
Right.
and Foo Fighters is just kind of like, what's gonna sell? Like that's what I hear.
Yeah.
Not their old stuff. I'm just
I was
talking
gonna
newer
say-
stuff.
See, I really liked Concrete and Gold. I thought that was a really solid album. Whatever the last one was. Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't listen to any of their stuff. If I hear it on the radio, I change the station.
I mean, everyone has their own opinions, you know?
Yeah.
That's the great thing about music, and I think that's like a huge problem, is that people are so snobby about it, and they'll just be so quick to be like, oh, that band fucking sucks. Like, your music taste is awful. And
Yeah, that's
people
not what
can't-
I'm trying to say with that.
No, I'm just saying, like, I think it's, okay
Yeah,
to
no,
just,
I think if you look at Foo Fighters, I have nothing against you. I just hate the argument.
I have everything against you.
I just hate
Miles
the
will
argument.
literally come berate you for hours.
He will. He has a Foo Fighter later. Actually, I got him.
You got me that a long time ago. I completely forgot about
Yeah, I got him as a joke because he equally doesn't like the Foo Fighters.
Really?
Yeah, just because it's the same thing. It's just
that.
an argument of who's better.
Some
and
of
it's
their
very
first album
frustrating.
is alright, I think.
Oh yeah,
I heard gun on it.
I heard
or
that
whatever.
some of those were like supposed to be Nirvana ideas, and then he
Yeah, I
kinda
heard that too.
threw, yeah.
Yeah, because he had a song called "Marigold" that
That's
was
a
on there
great
unreleased.
song.
Yeah,
I
and
love
that's
that song.
one of the only songs for Nirvana that Dave Grohl ever got to sing all the vocals.
Yeah.
and it was never actually officially released until like years later. And so yeah, that's where that stems from. Is when they were working what would have been their fourth album before Kurt Cobain passed away, they were trying some different sounds, and so they're gonna have Dave Grohl sing a lot more, and so that's why a lot of songs on the first Foo Fighters album, like some of them were lyrics or ideas
Gotcha.
from Nirvana that Dave had written. But yeah, I mean, both great bands. Nirvana is just so infamous, they'll always be in that time because Kurt Cobain dying and stuff. They'll just always be that raw, like just like
Angst.
youth. Yeah, angst. Honestly, yeah, that sounds cringy now, but yeah, they're that raw angst. He didn't grow old and sell out and get fat, and you know what I mean. Like he
just
died.
blew
He
his
died at
brains
his.
out.
He died at his peak.
Yeah.
And so like he never even had the opportunity to sell out, or so it's just like such a pure like timeless thing.
Do you guys think they would have sold out if he never would have died? At some point
I'd like
or
to
another?
think no, but yeah, I think
a
they
hard
would.
question.
I think they would because
I
you
think-
get so distorted. I think you when you're famous, you get distorted. Like you don't even know what selling out is anymore.
But I feel like Kurt Cobain was so stubborn that like maybe he wouldn't have.
Yeah, I think he would have just ended the band. I think, and I also
Yeah, I agree with
I've heard a lot of interviews where the band was already kind of like they were thinking about either breaking up or like towards the end because Kurt was so unhappy and like so addicted to drugs and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So they were already thinking about at least taking a break on the band or like maybe even ending the band.
Right.
So I think they either would have went on or they would have. I honestly think if he didn't die, they would have taken a break and maybe. I mean, this is all speculation, but maybe he would have like got clean and then they would have continued as a band, or maybe they'd stop and he'd go do his own thing, or like
yeah,
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I could see that.
It's all speculation, but I like to think they wouldn't
Right.
like sell out.
that's what I like to think. But I just think a lot of great bands sell out. Like I don't know. I just think if a band's together for longer than 20 years, they almost always sell out, and that's what I'm saying. I just think they lose grip of like what reality is.
Yeah,
in that sense.
I like when bands. A good example of this, I think, is the White Stripes. Actually, they just decided to stop making music because they thought like they kind of felt like they did everything they could, and then if they kept making albums, they were just gonna like sell out and just make stuff they didn't want to make. And I think that's really cool of them to just put an end on the project and cap it. And they have like a few great albums in my opinion. So I think it's great that they just like stopped where they did, because they didn't. In my opinion, they didn't really make any like bad music. Like a lot of their albums are pretty solid. So
right.
It was cool that it's so cool that he knew and was so aware of where they were at and how he could just cut it off right there. I think that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, some people need that.
I know we've talked about it, and I don't want to deviate too far into it, but the one time we went to the Brewworks, we were talking about the Smiths and how Morrissey's an asshole.
Dude, he's such a dick.
Great band.
I love the
yeah.
Smiths, but yeah, he's such an asshole. It's almost made me like I don't really listen to them that much anymore because I'm just like, I can't listen to this asshole. And then sometimes I have to.
Yeah, I know we had a little discussion on like The Cure and the Smiths.
I was just gonna bring that up. I don't know how you can be so mean to Robert Smith. Robert Smith is such a sweet guy. Like
Was
okay.
he mean to Robert Smith?
Yeah, he literally, because people compare the Smiths and the Cure because they're around the same time. They're very similar,
New wave.
and he's so mean. He's like, I would rather like cut my ears off than listen to the Cure. Like he just says all sorts of. Morrissey says all sorts of
even
terrible
though the
things.
Cure like shits on the Smiths.
Yeah, the Cure is so much better. Like the
Smiths.
Smiths are great and they're unique, but they're very one-dimensional. Like they have one sound. The Cure is like.
Yeah,
they have like 5 different sounds. They're
freaking
great.
love the Cure,
and they're so authentic. And Robert Smith's so likable.
Did you ever see the video when they were getting inducted into the Hall of Fame and the reporter was like, "Oh, Robert Smith, like this is so exciting! Isn't this so cool?" And he was just like, "No, I don't fucking care."
Yeah,
he's so cool. Yeah, he's just like a regular guy.
Yeah,
like he's just. And I don't know, like he's so much likable.
And he's one of those musicians too. Like normally when a musician gets older, their sound tends to decline. Like if you watch a performance by The Cure from like last year, they still sound phenomenal. Like he still sounds awesome.
Yeah,
he just doesn't look awesome.
Yeah, he looks like an old grandma now.
He looks like a zombie.
Yeah,
he does the same look with like the hair up and the makeup, and he just everybody grows up. So
yeah.
Have you guys seen what Aerosmith looks like right now?
Oh,
yeah, but Steven Tyler's much older though. Aerosmith started in the 70s.
Doesn't Steven Tyler work at the Lehigh Valley Mall in FYE? You ever see that guy?
Yeah, I've seen him. Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I know exactly.
There's a dude who works at FYE in the Lehigh Valley Mall.
He might be listening to us.
Yeah.
Hey, bud, you want to come on the podcast? No.
Yo, but
he's cool too. He's a nice guy.
I've never really talked to him.
Steven Tyler?
He's checked me out.
Junior? Steven Tyler Jr.?
Has he checked you out or says he
He's checked me out, Like,
yeah, Ryan's good friends with Steven Tyler.
Yeah. He's checked out my DVDs and CDs.
Yeah, when you bought all your fucking, what's that band you like?
Newfound Glory?
Yeah, when you bought all your Newfound Glory CDs, he checked you out. He's like,
Newfound Glory's pretty good. I like them.
They're my favorite band in the world.
I don't listen to them all the time, but I come around.
Yeah, that's when you know you listen to Newfound Glory.
Band in the world.
That's when you know you listen to Newfound Glory.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets you. Like you're like, my favorite band's Newfound Glory.
My favorite band's Newfound Glory.
I've liked them forever.
Yeah.
And I've seen them 5 times live, and I love their live shows, the energy.
Yeah.
I love their songs.
I think they're interesting.
Wait, are you saying you like them?
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I'm getting a little confused.
I'm getting a vibe that you don't really like.
Getting mixed signals
band.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a problem with them?
I mean, I guess everyone has that band. Like for me, that's Blink-182. Like they were the band I got into music on, and
your
then
Achilles heel.
Just kind of like I just kind of took. I mean, like they're not in my rotation all the time now because I have such a diverse music taste. But like they're one of those bands I always come back around to, and like they'll always kind of like inspire me. You know, especially
I think everyone has an artist like that.
Yeah, or like especially like with Matt Skiba in the band now. I'm a huge Alkaline Trio fan. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
everyone hates on him.
I personally like Tom DeLonge so much more, but that's just because it's like if you're introduced to something and it's done a certain way for so long, and then they kind of switch it up on you when you feel like it doesn't need to be switched up,
right?
Then you're like, I don't like this, you know? So.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, I appreciate all their stuff.
It's like Sublime with Rome.
Oh, dude, fuck Sublime with Rome.
Yeah. Dude, it's literally Sublime with Rome. It's just it's Blink with Matt. It's Blink with Skiba.
You know, it's a hot Blink-182 take I have. I like the album Neighborhoods.
Oh, I love that album.
It's
That's
like
a great
2013. Album. That's their last thing they did with Tom DeLonge, so it's not bad.
There's Dogs Eating Dogs as well.
Is that an
That
EP?
was bad.
Yeah.
That was not
Dude,
that
I
good.
love Dogs Eating Dogs, except for the
Really?
song with Yellow Wolf. That song fucking blows.
I have a
I
hot,
never
I have a
liked
hot take about Blink-182.
Miles fucking hates
Just shut
Blink-182.
They're big poo-poo.
Yep.
Oh my god.
No, I'll say this. I respect them. Like, I think they like definitely influenced pop punk and kind of created it.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I don't like pop punk.
Yeah, Miles.
Yeah,
it's not for everyone.
Just a biased
But
little
yeah, it's not for
asshole.
everybody.
and like, it could have been any band for me, but I guess just it was them that I
Yeah.
found, and you know.
No, I've like as I've kind of like gotten a little older, I guess. As I've matured.
Yeah, as a
As
mature
As mature,
20-year-old.
man.
Yeah. as a very mature 20-year-old.
Big, handsome, mature 20-year-old.
Booger Bear.
Nice mature booger bear. I don't know. I think music is objective, and if someone can get enjoyment out of something, I think even if I don't like that or someone doesn't like that, I think that's great. Like, there's a lot of music that I think is really shitty, but if someone can like, if that makes someone really happy, like I wouldn't want to take that away from them. So, you know, I actually don't listen to music because I just like creating music because I think all the music out there is really bad.
Okay,
I know
Morrissey.
someone like
Okay,
that.
Morrissey.
I know who you're talking about.
I was just joking around.
He's
I'm listening to.
autosexual with
He's
his
like
own
he's
music.
autosexual with his music. Yeah, he's like only the music I create is for me.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I
like,
am
ew.
art.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the
Everybody
music I
loves
make. They love that. They just love me. They just love the music I make. It's like, holy shit, dude! Like I can picture him taking his shit and smelling really bad, and him like not putting the fan on him, and then someone being like, dude, come on, like flush it at
He'd be
least.
like, "Dude,
and then
stop
he'd be
putting
like,
your shit in there."
he'd be like, dude, it smells good in here, and he'd be like, dude, you didn't even wipe.
You didn't even taste it.
Yeah.
So to wrap up, I think it'd be cool to come around and talk about if you guys had any like funny show experiences, you know, being that you've been in food truck for a couple of years now, you've played a lot of shows. Any funny show stories you have?
Well, this is very unexpected. I didn't know this question was coming, but we played a
It's not
show.
like we asked it once already.
No, I didn't. I'm very caught off guard right now.
It's okay, John. Change your diaper.
I don't wear pants or diapers.
Oh.
We wore diapers. We wore diapers at a show one time.
Nah.
Yeah,
we
so
You didn't know that?
We played the show. We played this like
Valley Fest.
we played this show
stroke.
called Valley Fest, and we decided to wear diapers. And then at the end of the show, we had a bunch of extra diapers, so we threw them into the crowd.
Dude, it actually went pretty well. It's pretty well perceived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that?
I think it was mine.
I think it was Ryan's.
Yeah,
I don't
it probably
remember
was
the
Ryan's
exact
idea.
story.
Sounds like my idea.
He went,
He's probably like, so guys, we should wear diapers.
dude. It went. It was really funny.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it's just us being funny.
You should-
And, like,
Another funny part to the story is we had to go buy the
Me and
we had
Miles
to go
went to
buy
CVS.
we had to go buy the diapers. So
that was awkward.
so we went to CVS and like I'm looking through the diaper section, and then like I was like, all right, well we got to find like adult diapers. So we found the adult diapers, and there's like turns out there's different sizes of adult
Oh, yeah.
diapers. So we're like, all right, well we got to get something that's gonna fit all of us. So we just got like the big. I think they had like an XL size.
Oh,
So we
shit.
so we go up
We're
to the
big
counter
boys.
with like they didn't have like just like small packs of diapers. They were only like
you
big
had
So
to buy like 20.
we had to buy like 20
amazing.
diapers. It was like 20 or 30 diapers. And so we just went up to the counter and just, you know.
Oh, and there's this young girl that was at the counter
Ah.
who was probably like around our age, and like there's no one in the store at the time because it's like 1 in the afternoon on like a Tuesday during the school year or whatever. So like we were like the only ones in the store. So there we are, 3 guys just buying a pack of 20
Depends.
diapers,
Yeah.
extra large, with this young girl. And
You're like, hey, you want
we're
one too?
just like, hey, how are you? And it's just like we're just all pretending like we're not buying 20 diapers. And she was very nice, but I could tell she was like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah.
are these 3 guys doing with 20 diapers?
Damn.
I remember another funny thing about that was when we were done with the set, after we threw all the diapers into the crowd, we still had like half a pack of diapers left, and I forgot to take them home. So there's just a pack of diapers.
Yeah, so
for whoever cleaned up.
Yeah, for whoever has to clean up the alternative gallery, they just have a pack of diapers laying on the ground.
That's funny.
That must have been weird, yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of diapers on the floor that we threw. So
Yeah, like used diapers.
They're probably just like, yeah.
Was that the time John ate the shitty chicken before the show?
No, that was
that's
another
good
show.
story.
Dude, that was a good one.
Tell
yeah.
it. Tell it.
Okay.
Actually, well, wait, before we move on, so that was at the alternative gallery. Did you
Yeah.
guys have like any weird people watching the show there?
I don't want to say no, but it's like a mix. Like there were some people there that like I think the people that hang around there, some of them like because a lot of the shows are like free. They're like free to get in, or they're very cheap, like $5. And so there's some kids there that's all they do is they just go to a show every night. And so yeah, there was definitely like a mix of a crowd, you know, like some people that like we know personally, and then some people I've never seen before and I don't think I'll ever see again. And like so there's a mix. Valley Fest had a lot of different artists too, so you had a lot of people, you know.
Right. Yeah, I went to a little festival there last summer, and it was like just a bunch of punk rock bands, but there was like skinheads there. There were like these old skinhead guys there. Whoa. Really fucking weird. And I actually learned apparently, so they had red laces in their Doc Martens, and I learned apparently that like laces, different colored laces
mean stuff. It's like being in a gang,
and like my brother-in-law was like, dude, those guys are skinheads. It's like, nah, and he was like, yeah, like they're wearing the type of shirt, like there's like a certain brand that they'll wear, like a really expensive polo, and then like they had just tatted from like head to toe, bald, and he pointed out that they had red laces in it, and he's like, I know that like white is white supremacy, blue is that you killed a cop. Yellow is like, I think gay, you support gay rights. I think it was yellow was anti-racism, and then purple was gay rights.
But that's what I think is so strange.
But then he was like, we were like, man, what? He was like, what does red stand for? I said, they're probably Nazis. And sure as shit, after the show, we went and I looked it up. Red is that you're neo-Nazi. So there were Nazi skinheads at this show in Allentown.
Ew.
Yeah, it was gross.
Wait, so yellow means you're for gay pride?
No, yellow is anti-racism.
Oh, okay.
And then purple is gay rights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, because I would definitely rock like do one Doc Marten yellow and then do the other like purple or something. That would be fucking cool.
Yeah.
I want a new pair, but they're so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
So Doc Marten,
please
hook us
sponsor
up?
me.
Yeah.
Give us like at least 5% discount. Anything. Just
Give us 5 free
throw me a
pairs of
crumb.
Doc Martens.
Oh, I think I have one more funny story from a show. So we did a Halloween show at Live at 13. I think it was that the last Live at 13, or was that? No, it wasn't the last one, right?
I think that was the second last.
It was like
one.
the second
There was
to
one
last
final one, and
Yeah,
that was a different time, like that.
Yeah, so it was like the second to last. For the listeners that don't know, Live at 13 was like a local venue ran by our friend Chris Kennedy.
It burned down.
It burned down.
Crazy incident. We don't
Yeah.
know what happened.
Yeah.
Just burned down. So
No, but anyway, so it was this Halloween show, and we decided to be the Super Mario Bros. So I was Mario, John was Luigi, and Ryan was Toad. And he had this like really
accurate.
He had this like really funny like it was like the Toad like his head, but it was like a hat, like a beanie. So that was pretty funny. And then he had these like glowing like teeth that he put in.
Okay.
Yeah, they would change. Those are pretty cool. They would like change colors and stuff. And on the way there, we like blasted like the Mario Kart theme. We were just like, it was just funny because we're all just like yelling like wahoo and like whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then we get there and like we're just like the windows are down. We're just like blasting the Mario Kart music, and we all like get out of the car, and it was funny.
That's awesome.
yeah, that was a good show.
Before John tells his, I gotta say, at our Save the Koala show, about 5 minutes before our set, John threw up on himself.
Yeah, that's the story I wanted to
Well,
tell.
let me.
I've heard it so
he
many
ate some
times,
bad chicken.
I wasn't like I get nervous before shows, but I get what Ryan gets, where I'll just have to like poop. Like I'll get like a nervous poop.
Yeah, I get nervous poops.
And I drink a lot of caffeine, so that's like part of that. But like for this show, I had worked all day. I work at a car wash, and I worked a long shift, like a 9-hour shift. And when I got home, I was in a rush because I was running behind for the show, and it was a big show. It was a very important show. We got to play with some really cool bands. We finally got to play with Service Dog, which was like, you know, something we wanted to do for a while. Yeah, they're great. And so I was like, I don't want to be late for the show. This is really important, you know. So I was in a rush, and I had this fried chicken that my mom had bought me, but it was a couple days old, and it was in the fridge. But I was like, this doesn't look like the right color.
Was it a shit boy? You guys know what a shit boy is? Was it like one of those rotisserie chickens you get at Giant?
No. It was fried chicken.
Quick callback. When I worked at my first job, Peapod, we had those rotisserie chickens that people would order, and we called them shit boys because there was this guy that worked there prior to me working there, and he would go on his 15-minute lunch break and eat a whole rotisserie chicken.
Fucking rotisserie chicken.
And he apparently just would shit up the bathroom and stuff. But the thing is, I found out later on the label of these rotisserie chickens, it's labeled SB rotisserie chickens. It's shit boy.
That's pretty crazy. Okay, well anyway.
So it wasn't a shit boy.
No, it was fried chicken, so it was a separate thing. But it was from Giant or some grocery store, so it was cheap, right? And I ate it, and I put some hot sauce on it, ate it real quick, and I ran out the door, grabbed my base and some equipment stuff. But then once I got there, my stomach kind of started hurting, and we were the last band, so I was like, oh, I don't know. Hopefully this will pass over. And I thought it was just a nervous thing. So I was like, oh, maybe I have to shit or something, right? And no. Literally right before we go on, I'm like, okay, there's only one way out of this. That's when I realized, I had to throw up or I might throw up while we're playing. So I just went in the bathroom and I just went to go put my finger in my throat. And my finger, I've never done that. I was so nervous. I was like, oh, God, And I literally, my finger made it past my teeth, and then I just started throwing up. I didn't even have to put my finger. Just the thought of me throwing up made me throw up. I just started thinking about it, and then once I put my finger in my mouth, I was like, "Oh, this is real. It's happening." And then I didn't even have to make myself gag or anything like that. I literally just the finger grazed my lip.
Miles is fucking dying over here.
And then boom, dude, it was disgusting. I felt so bad. We played at Sokol's. I threw up all over the toilet, all over the wall, all over the floor.
You got it on your pants.
I got all over my pants, and I heard someone walk in, and I could just hear them like a gas, they could just see the shit spewing out of my mouth, and it just, and I'll never forget that. And then I'm just I'm so fucked up after that because I threw up, and then you know how you're just nauseous and dizzy, and you feel really lightheaded. So then I'm I feel so bad for throwing up all over the bathroom, and I also know that I'm about to play in 5 minutes, so I'm scrambling. I'm trying to clean up with toilet paper, but it's Sokol, so the toilet paper is 1 ply,
paper thin,
So I'm just basically rubbing my hands and throw up at this point. Damn. And then I cleaned up as the best I could,
Did he stink? Did he go on stage? Did he smell?
I actually didn't know. I didn't know this happened until I think after the set. I didn't even know.
That's a good thing then. Yeah.
Well, what happened was I threw up, and then if you ever thrown up really hard, it comes out of your mouth and nose.
Oh yeah.
So I
just had the flu, and that's
it came out of my nose
back in January.
It came out of my nose. But long story short, I was nervous that I smelled bad, but I realized later on that it's just because I had thrown up out of my nose. Yeah. That's why I was smelling it. So I was nervous. I was like, oh, dude, I smell bad. I smell like throw up. It's just my fucking nose because I had thrown up out of my nose and my mouth, and so I had a little bit of throw up on my pants and shoes, but I cleaned it. But
you didn't clean all of it, dude. I remember seeing it on your
pants. It's stomach acid. You can't.
I'm not mad. It's kind of funny.
All right, can I tell my story though? I feel like I had the best story.
I thought you already had a story.
Go.
No. He said that he had a story, and then everyone interrupted him.
Yeah, I mean, I interrupt everyone, so it was payback. So, it's not even that good of a story compared to these stories, in my opinion. But I just feel like it's a good story to tell. So
you got
just go for it.
I worked all day, typical, working at the car wash. Working at the car wash. Yeah. We worked in Jersey. So I work in Jersey, and we had a show in Jersey. So what happened is they were driving down around 6 or 7 when I finished up at work. I met them. At the car wash, basically, and then we just drove from there to the show, and it was with this really cool band, Scissorfish, that we're good friends with. That they're from Jersey, so it was a show.
Shout out to them. Check them out.
Shout out to them. They're awesome. So they hooked us up with this show, and so we were gonna play the show. I don't know where it was in Jersey. It was this little it's almost like the Alternative Gallery. Do you remember what the show is called in Jersey?
Boontoon.
Boontoons.
It was Boontoons.
It was in
Boonton, New Jersey.
Boonton, New Jersey.
Okay.
Boontoon.
Was that the one you guys had pictures of? They're playing a movie behind you.
Yeah, they played Pulp Fiction behind us. Remember?
Didn't they do that at the Sokol's too? That's why I was confused. You're right though. Yeah, the guy had a projector. It's really cool. I like when places do that. I feel like it works. But so we played there, and it was like a long drive. I don't know, an hour. It was pretty far.
More than that, probably.
Probably more than an hour. It was pretty far. And so we played the show. We had a pretty good show. And then at the end, I'm like, there's like this young girl like who is like the person who like hands out the money, and she's like kind of like the receptionist. Like when people come in, like she checks everyone in, she makes sure everyone pays, she marks everyone, like gives people a wristband. And at the end, I'm like, oh, like I just wondering, like, you know, when do we get paid? Because we were like promised like a certain amount of money, and then she was like, oh, like, yeah, so basically, and then we didn't get paid. And I remember like being angry but feeling bad because it wasn't her fault. But they do this system which is fucked up. I hate this system. I've seen a lot of places do it. It's the worst system ever. It's so fucking mean and biased because you're fucking the band that traveled the farthest. So this is how the system works. When the person checks in to the show, the receptionist or whoever you want to call it is at the door will go, who are you here to see? And they'll have a list of all the bands.
That's so
and they'll
bullshit.
and they'll make a checklist of who the band you're seeing. So no one came to see Food Truck technically because we're out of town.
Yeah,
we're out of state. So obviously Scissorfish is from Jersey. They have a big following, so they got a lot of check marks. There was another band that had a lot of check marks. There was a band that was even more local that had probably the most check marks, and then we had like none.
We had 0,
because no one personally knew us.
That's
because
so
we're not from the
fucked
area.
up.
But I'm like, isn't that fucked up? Because we played shows where they do the opposite, where they go, oh, we're actually going to give you less of the cut, no offense, because you guys live around here. This band's coming from, you know, Florida or something like that. And then when they do that, I'm like, hey man, like they need the money more than I do. They need gas money, they need food. So like I'm cool with that. But when it's the other way around, it's like I don't get anything. Like it's not about the money at all, but we got nothing. We didn't even get gas money. We drove an hour. So that really pissed me off. And I usually don't care about money at all, but I remember just being like, God damn it. Like I just worked all day.
That's
we
bullshit.
went all the way out. I was excited for the show and we still had a good time, but I just remember getting fucked. And then I was like, yeah, I don't want to play shows like this anymore.
No, I didn't even know that was a thing until we did that.
In the smaller scenes, some places do that.
So like, did you like relay the message to them then, and then like, how did you guys react?
Yeah, I mean, they were
how
like
did you
right
feel
there,
about
and they were like, oh, so like, what do we get, like $20? Like, they knew we weren't going to get a lot because it wasn't a giant show or anything. But I was like, no, we got nothing.
Like, yeah, we were just like, oh, fuck.
Anyways, well, lots of good stories, lots of good talks, guys. Like, this has been an awesome episode. Is there anything that you would want to wrap up with before we sign off?
Well, I just don't want anyone to have fun. I don't want people to laugh. I want this to be like a funeral. If people are listening to this, I want them to be sad, distraught, and destroyed.
And destructive.
And destructive. I want you to just fucking make a meal, like a really nice meal to eat, but then don't eat it. Just let it go raw.
Yeah, if you were having a good day today, you should just turn it around and just have a terrible day.
Yeah. Just take it to the max.
You should fuck somebody else's day up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should give me something to break.
You should not only fuck over your own day, you should fuck over everyone else's day around you.
Yeah.
It's a good take to have.
That's our message to you, fuckers.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I guess... Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Just ruin someone's day.
Just ruin someone's day.
Yeah, don't...
Or if you're so
judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be really judgmental and shitty and be a hypocrite. Like, be like, oh, I don't think anybody should ever hurt anybody, blah, blah. But then just hurt everybody. Just be a fucking asshole.
Oh, God.
We love people like that.
But yeah, I guess in all seriousness,
fuck you. No, all seriousness.
That was serious.
That was all serious?
Yeah, we were being serious. What, are you joking?
You were joking.
No,
We're going to have to find your
joking.
replacement.
What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say this has been fun. And if you guys haven't already checked out Matt's podcast, you should keep checking it out because it's cool.
Well, they're listening to it right now.
They are listening to it right now.
Got lots of...
Yeah, what a stupid
There's other
comment.
ones. There's other ones, I guess.
Yeah,
Listen to his other ones.
We got lots of fun episodes on the way this season. I just thought this would be a great way to kick off.
Yeah, this is a good one. It's like a porcupine. It's really spiky, you know?
Yeah. Never know how it's going to hit you or where it's going to hit you. Where can you find Food Truck?
Spotify.
AOL.
And
messaging.
if you want to actually buy our music, you can go on Bandcamp and give us money too.
Foodtruck.bandcamp.com.
And then Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal,
YouTube,
I think.
Instagram.
Pornhub.
We have
There's some
music
videos up of our live performances.
remember
Dirty Priest.
You can check out Food Truck on pretty much all music streaming platforms. You can support them on Bandcamp if you want to throw your money at them. If you like what you heard, got lots of cool episodes coming up this season. We have ones where we talk about making donuts. We got ones where we talk about Q-Mart, diner rankings, like the Lehigh Valley Diner Wars.
Oh shit, I want to hear that.
That's going to be a fun one.
Is number one Williams?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
I don't remember. We're gonna leave that as a surprise.
Which one's the best?
Whitehall Diner.
Whitehall Diner's nice.
What about Coupe D?
Coupe D's on the list.
Coopersburg Diner is like top 3.
Coopersburg Diner's tight.
I would say that's number 2 for me personally.
But yeah, that's an episode we got coming up. I'm trying to think of what else. Just lots of cool episodes. I'm trying to change it up this season. And,
can you reveal any guests?
Okay.
Like, I'm just curious.
My friend Doug, who works for Backyard Beans Coffee Company in Lansdale, he's the one I talked about making donuts with, because he worked as an overnight baker, and he also worked at Yum Yums. Trying to think. I got you guys on. I got my brother-in-law, and he's the one I talked about Q-Mart and diners with, because that was like a thing. Lots of really interesting, diverse episodes coming up. So super excited. If you like what you heard, you can follow me here on SoundCloud. Like I said, check Food Truck out. They got a lot of music out right now on all streaming platforms. And I hope that you enjoyed what you heard. Guys, thank you for coming on the podcast. It was a pleasure to have you. And tune in. What? You have
I was just going to say it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
we've
for
been
having
wanting
us.
to come on this for a while.
Yeah, it was like months in the making. I'm glad we finally got to like sit down and do it. But check back in 2 weeks. That'll we have episodes 2 times a month, every 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, check back for episode 2. Thank you for listening.
Hit us with an outro.
I'm going to play you out to Motel Decaf.
I've been thinking what I should do. Can't even spell my name. Can't even spell my name. Took